What if your brain just refused to believe a part of your body was gone? And I don't mean like a memory. I mean a real physical feeling. No, this isn't science fiction. This is the strange and honestly fascinating world of phantom limbs. And we're about to dive in and figure out how it all works.
So take a look at this cat. It lost its foreleg months ago. But watch, its brain is still sending out commands. It's still trying to use a limb that just isn't there anymore. It's a pretty powerful, real-world glimpse into the exact mystery we're talking about.
All right, so let's get the formal definition on the table. A phantom limb is, simply, the distinct sensation that an amputated or missing limb is still attached to the body. And the key thing to remember here is that it's not a memory, it's not a wish, it's a vivid, physical feeling. It feels real. Okay, but a definition like that only gets us so far, right? To really get a handle on this, we've got to explore the experience itself. I mean, what does it actually feel like to have what is essentially a ghost living inside your own body's map? And get this is not some rare medical curiosity. We're talking about somewhere between 80 and 100% of people with an amputation experiencing these phantom sensations. It's basically a universal part of the experience. That's just wild. And the sensations people feel, they're incredibly specific. I mean, can you imagine feeling an itch you can literally never scratch? Or your brain just automatically tries to gesture with a hand that's not there, or to pick something up. Some people describe the limb feeling like it's shrinking or retracting. They call it telescoping. And for a lot of people, it's not just a neutral feeling. The phantom can be stuck in a really painful, clenched position, like feeling your fingernails digging into a palm that doesn't exist. You know, this isn't some new discovery either. The physician who actually coined the term phantom limb back in 1872, a guy named Silas Weir Mitchell, he described it perfectly. He called it a sensory ghost of that much of himself and sometimes a most inconvenient presence. I mean, that just captures how profoundly human and frankly baffling this whole thing has been for centuries. So that's the big question, isn't it? If the limb is gone, where on earth is this feeling coming from? For hundreds of years, scientists and doctors have basically been playing detective, following the clues, trying to hunt down the source of this ghost in the machine. This whole investigation, it goes way back. We're talking the 16th century, when a surgeon named Ambroise Paré first wrote about soldiers feeling pain in limbs that were gone. Then, after Mitchell gave it a name in 1872, things were kind of quiet for a century. The next huge leap forward didn't happen until the late 1980s. That's when Ronald Melzack put forth this radical idea. Maybe the phantom isn't in the stump, maybe it's in the brain. And then, in the 90s, a neuroscientist named V.S. Ramachandran finally showed everyone exactly how the brain was doing it. And this was a massive shift in thinking. I mean, the old theory was pretty intuitive, right? It makes sense that irritated nerves at the stump would be sending out faulty signals. But the new theory, this was revolutionary. It said the source wasn't in those damaged nerves at all. Nope. The source was the healthy, adapting, and massively reorganizing brain itself. So, this really brings us to the heart of it. What happens inside your brain when a whole chunk of its information highway just goes dark? How does the mind respond when there's suddenly a giant blank spot on its internal map? Okay, to really get this, we have to talk about something called the somatosensory cortex. Just think of it like a super detailed map of your entire body that's laid out right across the surface of your brain. Every single part of you, your skin, your muscles, it has its own dedicated patch of neural real estate on this map. And the really sensitive areas, like your fingertips or your lips, they get these huge territories, while less sensitive parts get smaller plots of land. And this is where Ramachandran's work was just so clever. See, he knew that on the brain's map, the real estate for the hand is right next door to the real estate for the face. So after an arm amputation, the hand part of the map suddenly goes quiet. It's unemployed, right? No signals coming in. And the brain hates a vacuum. So the neighboring face area, being super opportunistic, starts to expand. It invades and takes over that unused territory. The result is just incredible. You stroke the patient's cheek, and their brain gets a signal that it interprets as coming from both the face and the missing hand. So once we understood that this is a brain phenomenon, not a stump problem, it completely changed how we think about treatment. It led to a really cool question. If the brain can be tricked into creating a phantom, could it also be tricked into healing it? I mean, it's the ultimate medical puzzle, isn't it? How in the world do you treat a limb that isn't even there? You can't exactly massage it, you can't put a cast on it, so what do you do? While the answer, believe it or not, is a simple box with a mirror inside. That's it. This incredibly low-tech but absolutely ingenious device, also developed by V.S. Ramachandran, has turned out to be one of the most effective treatments for phantom limb pain. Here's the genius of how it works. A patient puts their existing limb on one side of the mirror, and then they look at the reflection. The mirror is placed so the reflection looks like it's exactly where the missing limb should be. And this simple visual trick, it gives the brain the feedback it's been desperately craving. The brain finally sees the missing limb again. So for someone whose phantom is stuck in a painful clenched fist, they can look in the mirror, slowly unclench their real hand, and they feel the phantom unclench right along with it. The relief can be just immense. Okay, so we've got the cause, brain remapping, and a really clever treatment. But the story doesn't actually end there. Not even close. Because the whole principle of sensory ghosts and brain maps goes way beyond just missing arms and legs. Yeah, what's become crystal clear to scientists is that this was never just about limbs. It's about how the brain processes the loss of any part of the body. The ghost can show up, well, just about anywhere. The research has revealed this incredible range of phantoms. Scientists have documented cases of phantom breasts after a mastectomy, phantom tooth pain long after an extraction, and even phantom sensations from a removed eye. There are also reports of phantom genitals. The point is, any removed body part can leave its own sensory ghost behind. And all of this leaves us with a pretty profound final thought, doesn't it? The phantom limb is this powerful reminder that our perception of our own bodies, it's a construct. It's an elaborate simulation running inside our skulls. So let me leave you with this question. If your brain can create such a vivid, undeniable physical feeling of something that absolutely isn't there, what does that tell us about the nature of the reality it's building for you right now, every single moment of every single day?